India-Pakistan bilateral relationship has not been faring well for quite some years now. The peak of this crisis was in 2019 when we saw Pulwama terror attack happening in which about 40 Indian security personnel died and the responsibility was taken by Pakistan-based terror outfits. We saw in the aftermath there was a Balakot airstrike by the Indian Air Force and it did strike some of the terror camp in Pakistani area. That was way back in 2019 February, and on 26th and 27th when we saw Pakistani aircraft trying to intrude Indian airspace, and in retaliation Indian aircrafts were also scrambled. We saw one of the fighter pilot Abhinandan was taken captive by Pakistanis, and that was in those 24 hours how the entire situation was unfolding. A very threadbare account has been given by none other than the Indian High Commissioner of that time, Ajay Bisaria, who was at the helm of everything that was happening between India and Pakistan in those crucial moments. In those moments, he had explained in his upcoming book how India's coercive policy in fact pressurized Pakistan to accept the responsibility and release Captain Abhinandan, not making him a bait. In fact, he also explains that Pakistan's then High Commissioner Sohail Mahmood tried to arrange a conversation between Prime Minister Imran Khan and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the same message was conveyed to Ajay Bisaria also. But Ambassador Bisaria politely turning down the message, said that any important message at this hour of night could be conveyed to him and that will be duly forwarded. The two leaders never talked. But the next day, we saw Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan on the floor of Parliament in Pakistan announcing that Pakistan will be releasing the Indian fighter pilot, and also Pakistan tried to de-escalate the situation. During the night of 26th and 2017, there was a very crucial meeting happening between senior Pakistani army officials, their foreign ministry officials, and also some of the foreign diplomats. And during that meeting only, the Pakistani foreign ministry officials received a message from the army which said that about 9 missiles are pointed towards various locations in Pakistan. And in case of any prolonged crisis, there could be an imminent danger of a full-scale war from Indian side. That rattled Pakistan establishment, and they tried to reach out to Indian side in order to de-escalate the situation. In fact, they also tried to reach out to foreign missions so that they can build up some pressure or some negotiations could happen so that the escalation would not come to a point where India and Pakistan will be embroiled in a full-scale war. So that was the time when Ajay Bisaria was in the helm, and he was seeing every single development happening in front of his eye. In fact, he was one of the messengers as well. Since then, there has been a clear-cut strategy against Pakistan by the Indian side that terror and talks cannot go together. In fact, External Affairs Minister Ajay Shankar had time and again highlighted that why India-Pakistan's relationship has been on a worse trajectory. He has said that terror in the night and talk in the day is something that India will not accept. And in case Pakistan wants to have a good cordial relationship with India, it will have to accept the terror emanating from its soil, and it will have to contain all those outfits, all those individuals who have been perpetrating this heinous agenda as a matter of statecraft from Pakistani side against Indians in various parts of India. How the entire situation unfolded and how in the aftermath we are seeing almost a deadlock between the two sides where there has not been any trade going on. Most favored nations status to Pakistan given by India was also revoked. We saw more talks being cancelled, and for now it is only a workable relationship between the two sides, and there is no other dynamics, neither people to people exchange, no trade, no commerce that is happening between India and Pakistan directly. This is some part of trade is happening through other nations, but directly there is no trade that is happening between India and Pakistan, especially in the wake of MFN status being revoked. So how does India-Pakistan's relationship, how does those crises was unfolding in those crucial moments, and how could be the aftermath when India and Pakistan can actually talk, and what could be the background in which the two nations can sit together and talk about all those pending issues. So entire events have been explained in that book, which gives a very step-by-step account of how the situation escalated, what all went into to de-escalate the situation, and how India-Pakistan's bilateral relationship has been a legacy of crisis, and that will continue to have unless and until Pakistan accepts the fact of its cross-border terrorism against India and stops it from happening. Then only probably there will be a conducive environment where the two sides can sit together and talk about all the pending issues that they have had.